and succulent growers, it's Lynn, and in today's video I'm going to be doing an update, an early fall autumn update on the cacti and succulents in the Polytunnel. Now I have got quite a lot more cacti and succulents inside the house as well, especially a lot of euphorbias. But I'm going to be focusing on the cacti and succulents that we have out in the polytunnels this time. And first of all, I'm going to start off with this table here. And as I mentioned, it's the end of the summer now and we're into the fall, and everything, well, nearly everything has stopped flowering, but we also have some that's in flower as well, which I'm going to show you. And these ones here are our Tephrocactus, and they've done really well over the summer. Lots of new growth on them, they've fattened up well. Haven't had any flowers on these yet, but Tephrocactus usually have to grow quite large before they'll flower, but they've done very well anyway. And then here we have mostly our Gymnocalyciums, and we've had them very good blooms on these this year. Lots have been blooming beautiful, and we still have this one here. This is Gymnocalycium, oh, it's a funny name to pronounce, Gymnocalycium moserianum, and that is rebudding as well. Lovely bud on that, so it's good to see this, another bud forming. Buds coming in the autumn time as well. These two here I'm in the middle of repotting, which is why I've got them in them jars. And what I'm going to be doing, because I have so many cacti that it would take me forever to go through every one very individually and name them all. Plus a lot of the labels have come off and I can't remember at the top of my head. But if you see a particular cactus you want to know the exact name for, just let me know when it appears in the video. For example, at 2.68, whatever, 2 minutes 68, and I'll do my best to give you a correct ID for it. Here we have our Mammillarias. Again, these have been doing well over the summer too, and a mixture of many different types here. Again, these have all stopped flowering now, they're coming into their rest. And I have my bendy Mammillarias here. Mammillaria, the red-headed Irishman there at the back, bending over. This one, Mammillaria formosa, bending over. And I have made a video on why is your cactus bending over. So do check that out if you have one of these bendy cacti. I'll link that video up above, and I explain the reasons, well, the reasons why your cactus may be bending over. Again, more with the Mammillarias, it's something that they do anyway. It's just their growth habit. So this is a little bit of a tour round as well, and I'll mention the update on the ones that's coming into bud and things like that. But as I say, the problem is when I do updates I have so many plants that it would take me forever to actually mention the name of each one. So I'm going to be running the camera around, and I hope you enjoy a little bit of a tour, and I'll be talking about the ones that are coming into bud or anything like that. And these are my Camocereus, Camolobivias, Rabusias and the like here, and a mixture of a few different types. And again, these have been doing well over the summer months as well. Again, a Cactus at the back there. This one is a Cactus monstrose, and I think it's a Cactus Hildewintera monstrose. Quite remarkable. Then here I have my Stenocactus here, and they're lovely as well. Commonly nicknamed the brain cactus because of their wavy ribs. Here we have Camolobivia, and different types here of Camocereus varieties, all doing well. They've had lovely flowers on them in the spring, absolutely beautiful. And then here I have a mixture of sort of more Notochatus Parodia, and this is a Telocactus bicolour, and another Stenocactus at the back there. And as I say, my red-headed Irishmen, Mammillarias, I love the red spines on these. And my lovely Rabusia albipilosa, beautiful. Again, this albipilosa has the most gorgeous orange blooms on it. But for some reason it didn't flower this year or last year. It's just been popping out like crazy. Another Parodia there. And then here, I'll take you over to this table. And here is a mixture of a lot more Rabusias, all different varieties here. And all doing well. The rubiaceas are pretty much, they've come to the end of their growth period now, so these are all resting. And I just want to mention that I've completely stopped watering all of my cacti now, and I did do a video, it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago, on when do I stop watering my cacti. And if you haven't seen that video and you want a bit of information on when you think you should stop watering your cacti, it can depend on many different factors, but I mentioned all of that in detail in that video, so do please check that video out. I'll link that video up above. And I've stopped watering all of these, even the ones in the small pots now, because I have to make sure they're completely dry before the winter kicks in. Cactus seedlings, they're doing very well. Little cuties. And here is my big Esbostoa. Isn't it just gorgeous? Beautiful. And this one here is a Cephalocereus sinalis. Lovely wacky hair. And this one here is a Parodia magnifica. Beautiful specimen there. Another Parodia magnifica, and this is actually coming into bud. Now, this, funny enough, does often bloom for us in October. It's a summer bloomer, but it can bloom late in the year as well. 2 new buds. I'm not sure whether they're going to stay on or they're going to drop off, but they look quite healthy, so I'm hopefully get some blooms from that as well. This is my other lovely Parodia magnifica. Look at that, it's a lovely multi-pept variety. They're probably about 25 years old as well, and that's recently been blooming. As you can see, there's the dried flower heads on that. This is the most beautiful cactus. It's stunning with its spine arrangement, really beautiful. And here we have a Cactus there, and this one is my Euphorbia horrida. Not that it's horrid, it's a beautiful Euphorbia, again quite a multi-headed specimen. Very beautiful there. I have a little cactus bowl of a assortment of things in here. An Echinopsis and my Mammillaria Copper King. That's absolutely gorgeous. And then an aloe in there as well. And then here, this is an Echinocereus subinermis. And I wanted to give that a repot this year. I never got round to it. So that's going to be done in the spring now. Here we have an Echinocereus gentry. Rather a funny looking cactus. Here we have a mixture of different types of Echinopsis as well. Let's take you around to this table. Now this table here at the front here, we have a mixture of a few different things. We have some of our Tephrocacti here. As you can see, these are sort of wacky, unusual cactus. And then we have a lot of Echinopsis as well, different types of Echinopsis here. And we have some Echinocactus, commonly known as the golden bowels, different types, white-spined ones, and they're doing very well here. And this one is quite unusual because it sort of got a bit of an attack at the top, and it treated it and it's dried up, fully callous, no problem there. But I think eventually this will start to pup and form pups around it. But it's, as you can see, it's quite badly scarred. And I think it's because the first year we had it, we kept the Polytunnel a little bit too cold and it formed this sort of scabbiness. But it's calloused over and it's going to recover quite well. But they definitely can't take any lower than 5 Celsius, which is about 41 Fahrenheit, because they're not necessarily going to die in a cold temperature as long as they're kept frost-free, but you can find they can get this scabbing and scarring on. So different cacti can tolerate different temperature levels, but we have to bring some cacti into the house to overwinter because they need a minimum of 10 Celsius, 50° Fahrenheit. But the majority of the cacti, including all the ones on this table, and the majority, if not all of the ones on the tables, can take a minimum of 5C, which is 41° Fahrenheit. Sometimes colder, but 5C is the absolute minimum I can keep them at, because the electricity prices have gone up so much this year that I won't be able to just put the heater on as freely as I normally would have done. So it's the bare minimum I can keep them at this year. And more Tephrocactus here, all at the back. Many different varieties. And a lovely big Echinopsis there. And then I've got my lovely Astrophytums as well. They're my old favourites, doing well there. Another Echinopsis here. So a mixture of quite a few different things. And then I'm going to show you the big tall ones that we got here on the floor as well in a bit. And here is a, I'll just come around because the lighting's gone a little bit dodgy now. This one is a Cactus Hildewintera, the golden rat's tail. You can see there, the lighting's not brilliant at the moment because the sun's gone under a cloud, but hope you can see it. And then here on this table, I have got our Opuntias, and a mixture of many different types of Opuntias here. Far too many to go through. And I did make a video a couple of weeks or so ago on our Opuntia collection, a whole complete tour of our Opuntia collection. So do go and watch that if you want to watch a bit more of detail of all the Opuntias that we have. But just a bit of a quick scoot around here to show you what we've got. And very happy to say that we have had one of our Opuntias that has been blooming on and off in the summertime now, and it's just recently bloomed, and it's this one here. That's the older seed pod, and this one has recently been blooming, just finished the other day, so happy to see that. There you go. And then our Opuntia salmianas here has also been blooming all through the summer and now into the fall. Lovely little flowers there, and very happy to see this been blooming practically constantly since the spring. So different Opuntias there. And then I have my big golden barrel there that I've had for many years, about 25, probably over 25. It was about 23, 24 when I got it. Lovely big golden barrel. Again, it's desperate for a repot. As you can see, it's way bigger than the pot, much wider, but I'm going to have to do that next year. Not one I'm looking forward to repotting, as it's extremely spiny, but it's a beautiful cactus. Then here we have a mixture of all different types of succulents here, and I'll just come round. We have mostly sort of aloes and haworthias and things like that, which we've got on this table as well. And I did a video when I rearranged these the other week, and do go and watch that if you haven't seen it. But here we have some cedar morganiums. This one a lovely crassula as well. Now this one is a beautiful red variety. Marginalis, I think this one is, the rubra. Beautiful red colour to it. It goes really red in the spring and summer and fall. In the winter it goes more of a green colour, but when it's getting plenty of light it goes a lovely red colour. And these ones here are Dickeas forsterianas. They're actually part of the bromeliad, a Tillandsia air plant family, but they're very good to grow alongside succulents because they're a cold hardy succulent as long as they're protected from frost, and grow very well in the polytunnel here as well. And different types there. Got a haworthia there and some aloe, mixture of aloes at the back there, and a little agave. And then here we have a mixture of different types of got some agave, gasterias, aloes, haworthias, and many different types here. This is a little haworthia pygmy, a miniature one. Very happy to see that is in bloom. Haworthia Suzanne. And then here we have Adramystus, different varieties at the back there. A lot of these are sort of coming into their growth now. It's fall because they're more autumn growers. And then here underneath we have mixture of more gasterias as well, and other types of succulents, some more aloes, variegated gasteria, and many different types of aloes under there, and more aloes and agaves all under there as well, and a big haworthia bowl. Some aloes, and this aloe is coming into bud. This is aloe bakery. Very happy to see that is coming into bud. And then we have some more Opuntias here on the floor that I've been going through, checking them over, and that's why they're on the floor, but I'm going to be putting them back onto the table. Here we've got an agave as well that I've got out because sort of in the middle of probably giving that a bit of a repot also. Here we have some Euphorbia sudanica. Beautiful leafy euphorbia, but that's going to be coming into the house as it's not cold hardy. And here we have a pachypodium there, doing very well. And then here, hanging up, I have my string of plants. This is string of tears, and lovely, lovely plant here, very long as you can see, growing all the way down. Makes a lovely hanging basket. And then this one is my string of pearls that I've had for years, and this is doing very well in a hanging basket as well, hanging all the way down. And this one is string of bananas, and doing very well also. And I've recently got a string of dolphins cut in from the funky cactus, and they very kindly gave me some cuttings, and I'll make a little update video on them. And they gave me a string of dolphins, and I'm rooting in water at the moment, so that's going to be lovely. Means I'll have 4 different types of string of plants. Very exciting. And here, this is it's a crassula. I've got the name on top of my head. Here's another one here, Crassula marneriana. That's a lovely in the hanging basket here. Now here on this table I have a mixture of many different types of succulents, and this is the thing I'm going to be working on next, because I've been having a bit of a revamp, going through a lot of the plants in the polytunnel, giving them all a clean, making sure they're all checked for pests and things like that for the winter months. But I've just got the succulents left to do here. I want to get everything off the tables, thoroughly clean the tables, clean under the tables, clean under the pots, check there's no signs of hidden beasties, and then rearrange these, because this is growing a little bit like a jungle, as you can see. So this is going to be a job I'll probably do in the next few days, and I'll film a little video when I'm rearranging all this and doing the little plant jobs in here, because I have a lot of beautiful echiverias, and they like many different other types of succulents here, but they're sort of growing over each other, and a lot of these need pruning back of the dead flower heads, and dead leaves need to be removed and took off, so I'll film that when I do. But they're doing very well, mixture of many different types here, mostly echiverias, growing extremely well. And this is a lovely little crassula here too, and this is Echeveria setosa, a lovely fuzzy one. Pachyphytums as well. And this is a lovely Avonia. I love this. Hasn't flowered for me yet, but this is a beautiful, unusual, wacky succulent. And here, as you can see, it's a bit messy on here. So this is, I'm going to enjoy giving this a bit of a tidy up and a revamp, and pruning a lot of these overhanging that need a big pruning back in the next few days. Under this table here, I have my aloes, my large aloes, that are too large for the table, obviously, so I put them onto the floor, a little bit under the table, so they get a little bit of shade. They're doing very well, and growing amazing. Again, I always find my aloes and gasterias, haworthias always seem to take a bit of a growth spurt late summer, early fall, so that's when I find they start to come into bud as well for me. Here on the floor I have a lovely this is Kalanchoe, oh, you find the name, Fedorchenskoi, what a name. And this is like related to the Bryophyllum family, which means they produce all little plantlets around the leaves. You can see there, little babies. And this goes a lovely sort of pinky sort of red edging around it. As you can see, this is desperate for good pruning. So that's what I'm going to be doing when I'm doing my succulent plant jobs. And I'll include that in the video. So it's going to look a lot tidier when I prune it back. And then here is my Slumbergia truncata, my white flowering one, and that's also going to be coming into bud soon. It's a beauty. Here is a little seedling. This is Cactus colodimons, commonly known as the monkey's tail. And this is one that I've grown from seed a few years ago from my mother plant, which I'm going to show you in a minute. And this has done very well here. And then here I've got more seedlings. These are little seedlings of Cactus, Rosaletus, little babies there from seed. This is my Eriosyce chilensiensis that I had to do an emergency cut on. I saved the pups in the summer, and I think they've rooted, which I'm really happy about, because I just gently place them on top of the soil. But if I go like that now, they don't move, so I think they've took root. And here is a mixture of lots more types of seedlings of many different types as well. Here's some Mammillaria, some lobivias. These are Pilosocereus seedlings. These are not looking so good, I don't know why, but I may have to give a bit of a look at these because this one is doing okay, but some of them are struggling a little bit. But this one here, this is Ephiphytic baby toes. I'm very excited to see it's coming into bud. Little pink buds forming there. So I love this little baby toes. It's a lovely succulent. So I'm really happy to see that coming into bud. And underneath I have some more epiphytes down here. Slumbergers, some Easter cactus, some Ripsalidopsis, and other many different types under here. Many I've grown from seed as well. And these are Slumbergia truncata Thanksgiving cactus that I've grown from seed. And look at them now, they're amazing. I've grown these from seed, it was 2018, 2019, so they're doing really well. These also grown from seed. These ones I've got as plants, but very happy to see. These more seedlings under here, Lobivia, that I sown, I think it was in 2015. Again, I need to pot them up into their own pots. These are some Matucana pups that I got propagating. Here are the Cactus seedlings as well that I think I sowed in 2018. And this is a job. I wanted to pot these up. Haven't got round to it. It's just been crazy busy all summer, and hopefully I'll be able to get it done. I think it's too late in the year to even start thinking about potting on seedlings. I'll probably have to leave that till next spring, but they're not going to do any harm over the winter like that. They're growing very well. More seedlings in here of different types. And then I'm just going to show you as well what we got up here. This is a Seleniocereus. Not sure the variety of this one. And this one here is my monkey's tail, one of my favourite cactus plants in my collection. It is just gorgeous. I love its lovely hairiness. And what is exciting about this is it's coming into bud again. It was flowering a few weeks ago, and there's lots of buds on this. Look at that. More buds. Buds. It's a gorgeous cactus, and more buds as well. And if you want to know a little bit more about this particular type of cactus, Cactus Conodimons, commonly known as the monkey's tail, then I have made a whole video on how to, a little bit about it and how to care for it. So do check that video out. I'll link that video also up above as well. Isn't it just gorgeous, guys? Oh, it just feels like you're touching a cat's tail. It's beautiful. What else have I got hanging up? Oh yes, here I've got a Ripsalis, and it goes a gorgeous pink colour in the sun. And this one is one I do have to bring into overwinter because it's not a cold hardy Ripsalis, but it goes a lovely red colour in bright sun like now, and then it goes green in the winter months when I bring it into overwinter. This is another this is an epiphyllum. This is similar to the Zigzag cactus, but it's a different variety. This is actually Cryptocereus anthonianus, and it's a red sort of flowering, red as in a deep pinky red blooming one. It never bloomed for me yet, but hopefully one day. Again, this is one I have to bring into overwinter because it doesn't take cold temperatures well. And I just want to mention I'm going to make in the next few days a video on the epiphytic cacti, what is cold hardy and what is not. I'm going to show you the ones in my collection that I have to bring into the house and the ones I leave in the polytunnel. And this is a video request from my wonderful friend Magda here on YouTube. So Magda, if you're watching this, I haven't forgotten. I'll do the video and hopefully it will help you guys out as well. If you have epiphytic cacti and you want to know what is safe to overwinter at a cool temperature and what has to be brought into for warm temperature. This is one of our Ripsalis here. I think this is Ripsalis teres, full of little fruit berries, wonderful. And this is one I do leave out in the polytunnel because I find it can take 5 Celsius, 41 Fahrenheit okay, as long as it's kept frost free. Same with this one. They look quite similar, but they're actually different types of Ripsalis. Can't remember off the top of my head because the labels keep fading. That's Ripsalis, Ripsalis piteri. So that's, again, they look similar, but they are different. As you can see, this has much thicker, fatter stems, and this has much sort of thinner stems, almost a bit more of a yellowy colour too. And then here, I'm just trying to make sure I don't want to leave any plants out. This is a big, this one here is Marginatus, Pachycereus marginatus, big plant, and this is Pachycereus pringlei here. Cactus, not sure the exact one. It's not a Straussii because it's not as sort of woolly, but it is a Cactus here. I love the way it's got the two heads, double-headed branch out at the top here. Amazing. And then here I have a Euphorbia. This is an amazing Euphorbia. This is Euphorbia polycantha. It's just hard to remember all of the names. Polycantha there. Again, Euphorbias are not cold hardy plants. They do have to have a minimum of 10 Celsius, 50 Fahrenheit. So these I have to bring into the house before the winter kicks in because they can't, even at 5C, it's too cold for them. They have to come in. Same with this Euphorbia here. And Pachycereus pringlei. This one stays out in the Polytunnel because it's a large specimen, so it can take it. Another Euphorbia here. And then this one has to be overwintered indoors. And then I'm going to start on here. Now, this I've got a mixture of a few different types here. This is my very old Tephrocactus, a beautiful multi-headed specimen, about 25 to 27 years old now. And that's how long I've had it, so it would be older than that when I got it. Got it as a small pup, but look at it now, it's gorgeous, lovely red spines on it. And then here is an awesome Tephrocactus here, amazing wacky wiry spines, absolutely beautiful. Another gorgeous Tephrocactus here, it's Tephrocactus gracilis, and it's absolutely stunning, lovely spines. And here is a Neoporteria clavata, beautiful, beautiful specimen. Put a lot of new growth in the middle there, very beautiful. Here is my Astrophytum nudum, very gorgeous, been flowering lovely in the summer. And I love how it's got the lovely sort of brown woolly felted areoles as well, beautiful plant. Then here I've got Astrophytum Capricorn crossed with Myriostigma. And then here, this is absolutely gorgeous. I love its long spines with this Astrophytum. This is Astrophytum crassispinum. Absolutely awesome. Then here, this is an Echinocactus, one of the nudums. And it's like the golden barrel, but without any spines. It's a lovely one that doesn't bite. Here's some more Astrophytums here. This is a Neoporteria. Lovely sort of, this has a natural red glow to the body, and then it goes green again in the winter time when with less sun, but it's beautiful. Some more little Astrophytum as well, and we've got some more smaller Astrophytums in the house as well, in the grow room, in the window. But as I say, I'll do an update on the indoor plants in the coming weeks. Another little Astrophytum here as well, and then this one here, lovely Astrophytum cinealis, and Turbinicarpus swobodae. Another little Echinocereus grusoni nudum, a smaller one there. And then here we have a mixture of, and I'm going to leave you the lofts till last, a lovely big Luctemburgia principis, and this is a very old Luctemburgia that I got from my late friend Bill. Beautiful, beautiful specimen. You can see the size of it compared to my hand. And then here is a Tephrocactus rhinoconensis, beautiful. Another Tephrocactus. I don't have the ID for this one. It's a lovely specimen. Again, a lovely Tephrocactus here. Tephrocactus hexandrophorus, all been blooming this year as well. Matucanas, this Matucana medicinorum, another Matucana. So now this is actually coming into bud, so fingers crossed this will bud. It may drop off this late in the year. Matucana polsey, another Luctemburgia principis as well that I've had for many years. And this one here is a Matucana albiflora that was gifted to us from our wonderful friend Claire at Cactus Cove. And this actually, I don't know, it's actually, believe it or not, it's actually coming into bud again. This has tried to bud 3 times this year, but I think due to the heat wave, it kept aborting the buds, which is such a shame because it's a lovely white bloomer. We had it bloom last year for us, but it keeps trying to bloom and then they're dropping off. And obviously I'm going to be keeping these plants dry now because it's too late in the year, but it is trying to form yet another bud. So you never know. Another little Matucana there, and then some Ariocarpuses, different varieties that we've got here. And then here I have my Lophophoras, and these plants I just think are awesome. Many different types, and I have done a complete Lophophora tour in the past of all the ones we've got, so do check out. They'll all be on my channel, guys, if you just search for them. And Lophophoras here, many different varieties that I've had for many years, and some I've been gifted over the past few years, and some I've grown for a long time. So different varieties here, all seem to be doing very well, and I had a lot come into flower this year. So they're wacky plants, and I love how they don't have, although I love spines on cactus, that's what attracts me to them. I also love the fact that these just have the woolly tufts. I think it's incredible. More different ones, smaller ones. Many I've grown from seed over the years as well. All these ones in these green pots are ones I've grown from seed. And the reason why they look so scabby is that I find that they're always coming down with spider mite, and I treat it with the rubbing alcohol and the neem, and it stops it in its tracks, but I find that they're very prone to getting it. So it's just something you have to watch out for with cacti in general, particularly these plants. Now this one is my Elephantypes. This one, Discoria elephantypes, at the back there. It's a lovely caudiciform plant that sort of suddenly grows in the late winter, forms a vine and grows all the way up. So that's sort of resting at the moment, but it's going to be coming into life, I'm sure, in the winter time. And here we have Pilosocereus gregis, and they do look like they're dead, but they're not. They've got a great root system and a big lovely fat tuber on them. This is sort of how they do look. And here I have the most tiniest seedling of Lophophora texensis. It's still so tiny. And this is a seed that was gifted to me by Clyde Morris here on YouTube. And it's the only one I've got that's still surviving. The others sort of died off, sadly. But it seems to be doing okay. And that's my Lophophora collection. And then here to almost coming to the end, and I'm going to show you what we've got out in the yard and the other polytunnel. Here is my Euphorbias. Now we have a lot of Euphorbias in the house, in the kitchen windowsill and that, the smaller Euphorbias. But these are our sort of larger ones that we have out here for the spring and summer months. They're mostly Euphorbias on this table, many different types, many different varieties. And they've been doing really well. A lot of them as well put out a lot of new growth, and some still in little flowers, you can see here. Amazing. Show you around here. And then this is my Ocotillo plant, crown of thorns. This was one that was gifted to me by my wonderful friend Keith, Groovy Man 1968. And I'll just point in case you can't see what I'm talking about here. That's the Ocotillo here, and this sort of comes out, starting to form new little leaves at the base there. And this one here, this particular plant is actually called false Ocotillo. It's not an Ocotillo at all. It's actually Alaudia, I think it's called, Alaudia, and it has comes into lovely growth sort of in the late summer, early fall time. Beautiful. And then it sort of dries up with all the leaves and goes dormant. And then I have got here a mixture of mostly all Hylocereus. And Hylocereus are commonly known as the dragon fruit plants. And these are ones I've mostly grown from seed. Now, this particular basket here was one that was gifted to me by my friend Susan when I lived in Waterford in the south of Ireland. She'd actually grown it from seed herself, and it's absolutely huge now. So Susan, if you happen to be watching this video, this is what your amazing dragon fruit plant looks like now. It is growing incredibly well, and this is one that I have grown from seed myself. Show you my hand, it's big, and they do grow very large. When we take them out here for the spring and summer months, they just put on so much growth because they love the heat in the polytunnel and the bright sun. But sadly, these are ones I have to bring into overwinter for the winter, because Hylocereus dragon fruits are not cold hardy. They can take a bit of cold, but anything really below 7-8 Celsius, and they will come down, they will just turn to mush literally overnight. So if you have dragon fruit plant, you must make sure that you overwinter it in a warm environment. The trouble is with a lot of these Hylocereus, they're used as rooting stock for other types of cactus, such as the Gymnocalycium myovici, the red cap. And you know, if you keep them in a greenhouse, the Gymnocalycium probably would be okay, but the rootstock would just turn to mush literally overnight, so it has to be overwintered in a warm temperature. And here's one of our Crassula, commonly known as the propeller plant. And more Pilosocereus varieties here. You can see how much growth they've put on in here over the summer. Literally grown right up to the roof. So this is a Euphorbia variegata there, growing like a big snake with all its arms. So that's all that side. Just checking what else I need to cover. Oh yeah, there's a few little mixtures of smallies on there. And then here I've got Epiphytum seedlings that I've grown from seed 2 years ago. And they're sort of growing really well. I have a few trays of these in the polytunnel. Again, I may have to bring these in because they're still too young to overwinter out in the polytunnel. Some Opuntia vulgaris on there. And then down here I've got some of my larger aloes as well on the floor. And another Cactus Hildewintera golden rat's tail there from cuttings that's doing well. And then I think that's pretty much this big polytunnel covered. I don't think I've missed anything out. Now I'm going to show you what we've got in the yard and what we've got in our other little greenhouse. Now here I have my outdoor bromeliad, and it's starting to come into flower bract. Gorgeous red flower bracts there. And I'm not sure if you can see here, in the middle there, that's the actual flower. Lovely powdery bluey colour in the middle. And a couple of months' time, usually around the November time, it has the most incredible powdery blue blooms inside with these red flower bracts. And I have made a video about this when it is in magnificent bloom. So if you want to see what this plant looks like in full bloom, I'll link a video up above of what this gorgeous outdoor bromeliad looks like when it's in its stunning glory. So happy to see it starting to come into flower bract again. And then here we have some more. This one here is a Selenicereus. Selenicereus Reckley, and that's doing well outside. Here we have a Ripsalis alboreolata. This has gorgeous little orange flowers, usually again in the winter time. And this one here is my Ripsalis pilocarpa, and it's got a lovely sort of red colour because it's getting plenty of sun at the moment here outside. But as I say, that's going to be going into the polytunnel to overwinter in the next few weeks before the chance of any frost starts. And now here, I'm very excited about this, guys. This is my very large 7 feet high Opuntia brasiliensis, and it is starting to come into bloom. And I can't get too high, guys, but I'm sure you can see the 2 little yellow golden flowers there. Very excited to see this. Lots of buds as well. This big Opuntia, very old, possibly 70-year-old Opuntia, again 7 feet high. We have to overwinter on our staircase because it's too tall for our polytunnel. So this is going to be coming in probably in the next few weeks. As I say, it's sort of like coming towards the end of September, and may have to bring this in obviously in the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what the weather's going to do. And very happy to see it is blooming. And then here we have our very large, also over 7 feet high, Pilosocereus, 2 twins, columnars in this big pot here. Also enjoying the early fall outside. This has been out since April time. Again, this is one we have to overwinter on our staircase because Pilosocereus is not cold hardy anyway, so it'd have to come in. But even if we could keep it in the polytunnel, it's too tall anyway. Huge. And then here we have Hansi's Trichocereus that is grown from seed 48 years ago, and that's probably over 6 feet high, and it's huge, absolute beauty. And Trichocereus are very cold hardy, so it wouldn't have any problem overwintering in our polytunnel. But again, the problem is it's too tall for the roof, so this one also has to be overwintered indoors, so it'll have to be coming in the next few weeks also. And here we have another one of our Ripsalises there as well, enjoying it outside. This one is going to be coming in for the winter too, because this is not one of the cold hardy ones. Now these are our Pereskia cacti, and yes, they are cacti, guys, even though they're very leafy. We've got a selection of different types of Pereskias here. These are Pereskia godseffianas, lovely sort of golden leaves with a lovely red, reddish pink glow to them. These have been out all spring and summer, and they'll probably stay out now until the chance of any real cold weather comes, and then we overwinter them indoors in the house. As you can see, slugs have had a go at these. Got a mixture of different types here. And then we have a big bowl of one of our outdoor sedums there as well. And then we have a few of our epiphyllums, different types, all here as well. They do well in this spot. As I say, they've all come to the end of their flowering now, except for one which I'm going to show you in a minute. And they're doing very well out here. These are all going to be brought into the polytunnel to overwinter again the next few weeks because they cannot take frost. So that's doing well here for the time being. Again, another one of our Pereskias there as well. But look at this, guys. Got something lovely to show you here. Woohoo! This is our Epiphyllum anguliga, commonly known as the zigzag cactus because of its lovely zigzaggy shaped leaves, and it is blooming beautiful. Now I'm sort of in the middle of making a buds to blooms video of this particular epiphyllum, so I'll make a separate video and I'll put that up probably in the next few days, so it's going to be lovely. But I have to show you what it looks like now. It's always sort of a early autumn bloomer for us. Absolutely gorgeous, lovely golden outer petals and lovely sort of creamy petals, absolutely stunning, and lovely big buds. Look at that. And I love this plant because I love its sort of zigzag leaves. Its epiphyllums can be a little bit boring when they're out of flower, but this is one particular epiphyllum that always looks awesome even when it's not flowering because of its gorgeous zigzaggy leaves. So happy days, happy to see this in beautiful bloom. Now here are monkey puzzles. We've got 4 of these here. And I know they're not a cactus or succulent, but I like to include them in my updates because people are often asking about them. And I've been wanting to repot these stunners all spring and summer, and I still haven't got round to it. The good news with these, they are cold hardy garden plants, so I can repot these into the fall. So hopefully I'll actually get round to repotting these in the next few weeks, and I will film a video when I do. So apologies for people who keep asking. I keep saying, yeah, I'm going to be filming a video next week, and that I just haven't had chance. But they do need a bigger pot, as you can see. But these are stunners. These I've also grown from seed back in, I think it was 2015, and they do need a repot. Absolutely gorgeous stunners. And then here I've got some more epiphyllums out here in the yard. This is my Epiphyllum Pegasus. Again, this is going to be coming in for the winter into the polytunnel, but it's okay out here now. Different types again, all hanging epiphyllums. They do very well out here in the summer. They're looking a little bit yellow because I've had a bit too much sun. It's been an extremely hot summer, and ideally epiphyllums prefer a little bit more shade. They can take sun, especially epiphyllums rather than ripsalis and other epiphytes, but they do ideally like a bit more shade. But they'll green up when they're back in the polytunnel for winter. More here, another one there. And then I'm just going to show you what I've got up here. Cedar morganium hanging up. This has been flowering in the summer as well, and flowers are just sort of, as you can see, on their way out now. And then here we've got some of our bigger agaves that we have out for the summer months, and they're going to be coming in also to overwinter in the polytunnel. Although agaves can be very cold hardy, I can't give them a dry position out here, so they're better off overwintering in the polytunnel. Here we have some of our aeniums, different types, and these have been flowering really lovely as well this summer. And we have these outside for the summer months, and then these we're going to be bringing back into the polytunnel soon for the winter. And then have a big bowl here of echeverias doing very well outside here, but I may have to prune this back when I bring it in to overwinter for the winter months. But look, it's growing huge, amazing. Here we have one of our big bowls of crassulas as well, doing very well, enjoying their spring or summer out here. Again, this is one I'll have to bring in for the winter as well, but it's loving the fresh air outside. Then here is my very old 70-year-old Schlumberger truncata, commonly known as Thanksgiving cactus, and it's putting on a load of new growth as well. Little leaves starting to come, and this one will start to form buds. In fact, I can't believe, but it actually is, guys. See there, tiny buds starting to form already. because this one sort of blooms in the sort of late October to November, sometimes right into Christmas. And I'm very happy to see it's actually starting to come into bud already. So that's great news. And this, I say, we have out here in the yard in the spring and summer. A little bit more shade here because it's protected at the back of the polytunnel. But this one is also going to be coming into the polytunnel because it's not cold hardy. It can take 5 Celsius, but not frost, so that's going to be coming in. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be making a special video on all my epiphytic cacti. What is more cold hardy, which ones I'm going to have to bring into the house to overwinter, and which ones can overwinter in the polytunnel at 5 Celsius, 41F. So I'm going to make a special video on that in the next few days. And here is my Schlumberger Buckley, and that's the true Christmas cactus because it has the scalloped edge into the leaves. And this is doing very well. I don't know if there's any signs of buds on this. This is usually coming to bud usually in December and flowers sort of December, January time, bit of a later bloomer than the Thanksgiving cactuses. But this has been doing very well out here in the hanging basket out in the yard. And there's another Schlumberger truncata. I'm very happy to see this is also coming into bud as well. I've got a mixture of a few different ones in there: white flowering, pink flowering, red flowering, orange flowering. This is going to look remarkable in a few weeks when this is all in bloom. And what I love about these cacti is that when all the desert cacti are resting for the winter months, I have these coming to bloom at the time when nothing else is, so it adds a lovely bit of flower at the time of year when you need it most. Here we have some more crassulas. Also enjoying the outdoors here. They're going to be coming in soon also. Another one there, mixed with some of our garden plants. And another one here as well. And lovely to see the pelargoniums all blooming beautiful. And then I have a hanging basket here of a mixture of all sorts. Some succulents in there and a Tephrocactus, a Porophyllum. This is also going to be coming in for the winter months. Now I'm in our little polytunnel here, and this is one of our recent edition polytunnels that we got this spring. Smaller one than our big polytunnel, obviously, but I like the fact that it's white, so it lets more natural light in rather than that green colour. And I'll show you what we've got that's sort of going on in here. All of these cacti, first of all, will be coming into our main big green polytunnel to overwinter in the next few weeks, because I was going to keep some in here originally at the beginning of this year and some in the big polytunnel, but as I mentioned, the cost of electricity has gone up so much that I can't afford to heat both greenhouses. So I'm going to put all these into the one big greenhouse, so I only have the one to heat. And some of these have to be overwintered in the house anyway, such as the Pilosocereus, because they need a minimum of about 10 to 12 Celsius. But all the Trichocereus will go into the polytunnel. But first of all, I've got here, this is a little bit of all sorts on this. These are plants I'm going through and repotting and things like that, and that's why they're on here. My big Echinopsis gentry, I'm going to be checking this over. And also plants that I'm going through that I recently had as well that I'm putting away, some Echinopsis as well. I want to be checking them if they need repotting and things like that. And this one here is a big Cactus Bormani. I think this one is Cactus Bormani or Samatapta. Yeah, Bormani. A very spiny one here. Gorgeous. I love the way it grows. So that's also a stunner. Now I'll start this side. Here's our Stephanotis floribunda, a beautiful plant that has been flowering with lovely white flowers up until recently, with a lovely heavenly sort of jasmine-y smell to them. And then here's my big Oreocereus Trolley. It's lovely. I love its sort of beautiful orange spines and lovely white woolly hair. And then here we have a mixture of all different types of Cereus cacti. As I say, it would take me too long to go through all the individual names with you. So if you see a particular cactus you want to know the exact name of, just let me know what part of the video it appears in and I'll give you the ID. But as you can see, a selection of all different types here in this greenhouse. Do very well. And this is our recent addition. The Cereus jamakaru, commonly known as the cuddly cactus, and it's actually grown quite a lot since we had it. We potted it up probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago, and it's gone wider. and it did have a little bit of new growth at the top. Now it's sort of starting to harden off. Now it's getting towards the resting period, but it's doing very well. Again, this one is going to have to be overwintered indoors because it's not a cold hardy one. Here, all different types of cereus. Oh, many different types here. Mixture of Pilosocereus, Trichocereus, and all different types. But I've got something very exciting to show you that I've noticed, and I'm really excited about this. I'll just show you first what's on here. Different types of plants here. This Opuntias. This is commonly known as the Roadkill cactus because it's very flat pads. So it looks like that the cactus has been run over by a bus. Why it's called Roadkill cactus. This is Opuntia rubescens. It's amazing. And also other little Opuntias here. And this one is our Cereus spiralis. And it sort of had about 2 or 3 years ago, got a bit of black at the top. Cut it off and it's calloused over. And hoping it will eventually start to side shoot. There's a little makings of one there just starting. And let's take you around here. Yes, this is what I'm very excited about, guys. This is our Pilosocereus pachyclaudus, and it was blooming in the summer, and I'm happy to say it's in bud again. Look at that big rubbery bud. So I'm very excited that that's come back into bud again. It's going to be blooming probably the next couple of days. So lovely to see that is rebudding. Very good this late in the year. Mixture of all different, like Trichocereus grandiflorus down there, growing like a big snake. Another Cereus spiralis. And here we've got Trichocereus pervianus. What a name. Some of the names, guys, have me in stitches. They're just so hilarious. Sometimes I feel embarrassed pronouncing them. But just look at the awesome spines on this. It's gorgeous. And different types as well, all in there. And then here, just show we've got a mixture of some Opuntias. Many different types of Opuntias there. Now, some of these are not so cold hardy and some are. And these particular ones down here are ones that are going to have to come in to be overwintered because they can't take cold. They're warmth loving Opuntias from the Galapagos Islands. And they're ones that are going to have to come in for winter. But all these other ones here, this Burgeriana, for example, Opuntia burgeriana, this Opuntia orbicillata is one that is definitely quite cold hardy, so it'd be fine at 41 Fahrenheit 5C in the Polytunnel. And here, more Trichocereus. These are a mixture of Trichocereus scopulicola and Trichocereus peruvianus. And look how big that one is. That's my big scopulicola crossed with Pachanoi. Trichocereus. Now, the only thing I'm disappointed with this year, and I'm really surprised, is that none of my Trichocereus pachanois or scopulicolas have flowered. Now, we've had an amazing summer, like it's been so sunny, and these normally will flower even when it's quite overcast for me, so I'm not sure why they haven't flowered this year. We've had lots more flower of other plants, but not these. They've just been growing like crazy. I think they're really loving the heating when the heat wave we had, and I don't think it would have been too hot for them to flower because in their natural habitats they take a lot of heat. But it's strange, I haven't had a single bud on any of them. But they're growing well, and that's the most important thing. And look at that, don't know if you can see, but there's a little spider in midair, little cutie. Spiders are great, guys, and they like to eat the bad bugs, so I always like to leave them. Now, another lovely big Oreocereus here. I think this is Oreocereus celsianus. And look at its lovely white hair, it's just gorgeous. And here we have a lovely Trichocereus. And this is Trichocereus candicans, I think. It's one that Hans has grown from seed quite a few years ago. And that's sort of doing really well. Here we have a mixture of more different types of Cereus, Trichocereus plants here. And a large Cereus spiralis there, growing very well. Cereus spiralis is not a cold hardy one, so that will have to be overwintered indoors as well. Another Trichocereus pachanoi there. And there's lovely Cereus jamacaru, another one there, and this has had 2 beautiful blooms on it. This has bloomed lovely this year in the Polytunnel, so happy to see. And then here we've got some Trichocereus sort of seedlings there. And just show you around here. It's difficult to really film because it's hard to get in with the camera. Lots of seedlings there, Trichocereus. Some more Trichocereus seedlings there down the bottom on the base. And here I'll just move back. We have a Pilosocereus goonelli. I love this guy because I just love its wacky arms coming out like a little mini saguaro. It's awesome. And here we have more Opuntias as well, and a mixture of other types. Here we have Pereskia chichipis, little seedlings that grown from seed. Here I have my lovely saguaro that was gifted to me by my wonderful friend Keith, Groovy Man, here on YouTube, and it's doing really well. I repotted this about a month or so ago and it seems to be settling in really well. Another lovely Opuntia there. I haven't got the names of a lot of these types of Opuntias, so I can't give the ID with these. But lots of different types of Cereus all here. And here is my very old multi-headed Echinopsis. And I don't have the exact ID of this one either, but it does have beautiful lilac-y purple flowers. Now this is the main mother plant that actually has never flowered for me, but when I've removed pups and potted them up, they've always flowered. So I'm guessing it's probably too many pups on this, but I don't want to remove all the pups because I think it just looks awesome with all the pups on it. But sometimes I do have to remove some because it gets too over pupped. And it's just a beautiful plant. This as well could possibly be about 70 years old. It's a very, very, very old plant. And I have made a video on how to remove the cactus pups from Echinopsis cactus plants. So a lot of people say it's got lots of pups, how do I remove them and propagate them? Then check that video out I've made. I'll link that video up above. So see that if you want to know how to remove the pups and propagate them. Here I've got a mixture again of different types of see, these are Trichocereus bugessi seedlings as well, growing very large. And this is a little Pachycereus pringley that we got this year from Poundland, believe it or not, one of the Poundland stores for £1, and it's doing really well here. But because it's still young, I'll probably have to bring that into the house to overwinter as well. These are our Euphorbia. These are Euphorbia, commonly known as the poinsettia plant. Euphorbia pulchimus, and we have quite a few different ones. These are our red blooming ones, and this is a pink blooming one as well. So they're obviously not cold hardy. They're going to have to come in for the winter as well. And this one is my lovely big bowl of Rebutia perplexa, and this usually has the most beautiful display of a bouquet of pink flowers, but again it hasn't flowered for me for past 2 to 3 years, and I don't know why. I repotted it and it's grown into a lovely mound, but I think the energy's been going to building an amazing root system and growing rather than popping. But I don't know why it's not flowered, because all my other Rebutias do, but it's doing well anyway, as you can see. It's a beautiful beautiful pupped plant. Again, this must be about 25 years old. I got it as a small little cluster, and now it's like a field of pups. It's absolutely gorgeous. Well, that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the update for early fall tour of the cacti and succulent collection in the Polytunnel greenhouse and the yard. And if you've made it this long all the way through to the end, then congratulations to you for watching, and thank you so much for your support and all of your lovely comments. If you haven't done already, then don't forget to subscribe and do give this video a like. And for lots more tips and tricks on how you can care for and grow cacti succulents, don't forget to check out my website, desertplantsofavalon.com. I want to wish you all an incredible cactus and succulent plant-powered